of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
These are lessons that, again, the education that much of the world have been geared away from. The teachers have been here for thousands of years now. See, that's the whole thing. Back to you talking about being in the forms of books.
Yes, in the forms of books that's been covered up. You know, unfortunately, you've had the Tower of Babel that was once upon a time was here because the people had gone astray, following a demon, Nimrod, who wanted to be the greatest of all, which is the Lord El, and he wanted people to worship him, so he had them building towers to the heavens so that he could go and challenge the Lord. And what happened was those people were cursed. And they built them towers, but the Lord cursed them with their languages. They started speaking different languages, and then they became confused. And that's where that terminology of being a babbling idiot comes from the Tower of Babel. They couldn't understand each other. They couldn't understand the orders. Some of them temples were not completed. And Nimrod suffered, born on December 25th. Yeah, the Christ massacre. And the thing about it is that the people can't understand the truth. They gone and lost because they did not uphold their responsibility to stay with the education that the Lord was giving, to stay with the respect that the Lord had demanded for them to have of it. And they bowed out of fear of another man. And that's the whole thing. That's what's going down in the world. Men put fear on you, fear of death. But yet and still the same men ask you to go and die for them. How ironic is it that you're afraid to die, but you will go and join the military to preserve this nation or whatever. And you say that's honorable. But you're afraid to die. And you will not live for the Lord for fear of dying by the hands of the devil, but yet and still you go to serve the devil in hopes that you don't die. When you become of the living dead anyway. See, people think that the living dead is the bums and the people that's cast down, the lowly people walking around in ignorance. Man, you got some of the highest people is of the living dead. Come on. Dracula was sharp. Who could outdress Dracula? Dracula to go to the ball and grab them women. He didn't even have to grab them. He be like, hey, they be up dancing, man. They be saying that he ain't got no reflection in the mirror, but they still up there doing their thing like, but he's so smooth.
Oh, like a Code 45 commercial. All right. Billy D voice.
A lot of symbolism in that.
There's a lot of symbolism in that.
But it's the truth.
It's the truth,
You know, Dracula stands at the highest level. The jinn bow down to Dracula. Say the boy Dracula is one bad dude, man. Dracula's so bad. Dracula said, look here, let me explain something to you. I am tired of y'all portraying me like stuck in the dark. Don't you know it's darkness out here in the light? Forget that sunblock. I'm going out. And then he gave birth to Blade.
The darkest thing.
The darkest thing that you can find. Don't need no sunblock.
That's true, yeah.
Ain't no sun getting through that skin.
I'm laughing because
IRS might get through it.
It got through it.
Let's not mess with that brother, because that brother's smooth. He be getting all them white women too, man. You know what I'm saying?
I used to say something. I used to say something in the scriptures, man, that makes us now. can the house of Satan be divided stand? And it's
standing.
You got the two evil in movies. Everything society is a lesser evil, but it's still evil.
Greater evil going against the lesser evil. Which one will you choose? should be like Jesus. We running up that hill. They said, Jesus, why you running up the hill? All the sick people down there. They said, yeah, I know. And I can't do nothing for the faithless.
That's it.
Nothing for the fools. I'm out of here. You know? But you know, like, it's a serious happening.
Yeah.
You know, we joke about it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like looking at those evil pictures. They tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You got the so-called goody-good religious pictures. They be lying like lying out of the side of their neck. You know?
That is true.
But you get a evil picture, you get a Dracula, or the Wolf Man. They be telling the truth like that. They go into the Catholic Church, grab the priest,
eat him,
bite his neck, break his cross. Get that thing out of here. That burnt back in the 30s. It don't burn no more. You gotta do better than that, you know?
That is true, boy. Man. It's something, man. But this all about the education. The reality is really the education that is really truly needed now.
Yeah.
Because our people, you know, Holy Queen always jumping on people, but it's our people. Sometimes we need that whooping because it may shock some people. I ain't want to say it all. It shock many of us because we realize that we've been duped and we like being duped. I realize we like to be fooled.
It's perverted.
We like it.
It's perverted. After you get whipped so much, you begin to be like those people who like to get whipped. See, nobody can whip you unless somebody who likes to whip you. And you got people that whip on nations of people and whip on individuals, and they like whipping. They perverted.
Yeah.
Huh? Because they like whipping. And if you follow them around, you might see them get whipped, you know, for pleasure.
Yeah.
That perversion is deep, man. You know, you be in a condition for so long and then you start accepting that condition and somebody try to change that condition, you fight them. Don't try to change my condition. What are you trying to do? This is where I'm from. This is what I am. You can't change me. And they don't recognize because they don't have no insight that they need to change, you know?
Right.
And it's like, you know, like I talk to my children, man. I say, don't get caught up in what's fashionable. Don't get caught up in what everybody doing. Because you get caught up in that, you think it's right. Because everywhere you look, you see them doing it, and you think it's right. And you forget about the one that you got to answer to. You know? In the long run. It's a serious, serious happening.
Yeah, and I know for A.H.A.D believers it's really rough because, well, those who are truly A.H.A.D believers, because we stand against, it's like whatever everybody else is doing, we staying back and say, okay, we know not to do that.
Yeah.
Because the majority of the people is the ones that are going astray, you know?
Yeah.
Me and my daughter was talking about the Amish people and how they, you know, picked at them and degraded them for years and what have you. And the Amish is really a small community compared to the rest of the society. And I said, in the next 10 years, they be running to the Amish people.
Yeah, please show me how to live off the land.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, yeah.
I said, you know, they make fun of them now, they habits and they dress and what have you, but the way things is going in this society, they're going to be looking up them Amish people.
You know, like they laugh at them and they say, what goes up must come down. And you know, we hit the dark ages, man, and we see them Amish in them carts and them buggies. Yeah. With them, we be wanting to take them. Yeah. You know what I mean? See, we be trying to get that Cadillac. Calling the horse Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's on the real side, you know. Yeah. It's on the real side. Not saying that that's the absolute way to go. No. But they got something by staying close to nature. Right. Oh, yeah. You know? Yeah. And the people in the modern world, you know, like they make a mockery of them. You know, they laugh at them. But see, you know, I look at how when I was growing up, man, and people used to hike on other people. Right. And I used to sit around with them and I'd laugh, and when I go home my mother would tell me, you should not laugh at them people. I don't care who hiking on them. Next they'll be hiking on you. Yeah. Why would you laugh with them? they're no better than you and you're no better than them. It took me a minute to see it, but I seen it. You know, and the main people that did all the hiking and all the mocking of other people, those are the ones that fell out of life short.
Yeah.
And those are the ones who ended up suffering the most.
Yeah.
Some of the brothers who walked around was the cleanest in the neighborhood ended up in jail and dead. You know, drugged out, messed up, gone. So true. The ones that they praised and worshiped and raised to the highest, like those, they were the thing in the community. But look at the ill and the evil that they do to us. Look how the jinn will take our people and praise the gangsters.
Yeah.
Raise the gangsters up and put them on television and make their evil fair seeming or a heroic thing. Right. We were fooled way back when to think that the gangsters and, you know, the pimps and what have you, that was the way, because they were ones that had the rolls of dollars, the rolls of money. You understand? We were ignorant enough to believe that. Now that some of us, we've had freedom fighters, people try to educate us, like she mentioned Muhammad Ali being more than just a boxer. You know, we have many people who try to educate us. Right. You know, even brothers who was in the Black Panthers at one time, way back when, you know, before they became lost in their blackness, you know, and want to be more of a symbol than an educator, you know. True. Yeah, want to be nationalists and what have you, instead of getting down to the heart of the real, you know. They take us now and they from the highest level raise these people up, man, for us to admire and worship and praise. And you got so many of our young brothers and sisters out there killing themselves and killing each other and calling themselves gangsters, don't know what real gangsters were. Call themselves thugs and call themselves pimps and what have you. You know what I'm saying? Just a realm of self-degradation.
Right. Right. And you know what the sad part about it is that our children don't realize that the gangsters worked for the Caucasian to destroy our community.
Oh, yeah.
They always did.
And because they would give kids bikes and turkeys and things of that, they was looked upon as good. And I think one of the things that was done recently that just should have been a kick in the teeth to black people, but black people never could see past their own noses, is when Denzel Washington, one who I enjoy as an actor, played that gangster role, and it wasn't. I didn't have the problem with him playing the role, because of my education. But I looked at how many people raised him high for coming through a poor background and being a part of Boys and Girls Club and what have you. When he turned around and put the gangster a Rolls Royce. I'm like, wait a minute. You buying him a Rolls Royce for what reason? This man got half his family killed.
How many people have this man been responsible for taking their lives and ruining families, black families? And even other nations of people or races of people's families. You don't know how far the extent of his evil had went. How you gonna reward him and then get recognition for your reward?
Caucasian was definitely going to let you know that he rewarded him. And in the interim of all that, this man did time in jail, came out of jail, and was still starting to sell drugs on the street.
Now, you was saying something. What did you say, brother? We got a brother in the audience that was saying something. Paycheck. That was his paycheck. Paycheck compensated that. Yeah.
But he could have
just like he won the award for a bad cop.
Right.
Now, how you gonna promote a bad cop? Oh, and give him an award for it.
First time. Wasn't he the first African American that won?
In a long time. Which he was an excellent actor. Right. Much better in all the things he had did before.
All of them.
He showed them.
And they give him a role as a bad guy, and now we're gonna reward you
with an Oscar because you reminded your people.
But he didn't sold out.
Right.
He didn't sold out.
Well, they gave him the Oscar because he reminded his people that they're nothing but niggas.
He sold out.
You know what I'm saying?
He sold out. The almighty dollar.
Him and that Holly Berry.
Well, she's
a mutt.
She's Yeah, she's Caucasian African American.
She's a mutt. The president could say he's a mutt. She's a mutt. You know, but, you know, it's something that we have to look at when they come to portraying that stuff to our children. But how that probably blew over a lot of people's heads.
Of course. It's a strange happening that we got all these people who are the leaders of our communities that's in these organizations, these non-profit organizations and what have you, right? And they always are portraying the favoritism for, you know, these how can I say this? These insubstantial things, these things that is laid out to take us out. You understand? See, we wanna be raised up for fame and fortune, and most of that is facade, cover, fake, fake. You understand? And they raise us up, huh? And you look at, like, you take one of the major magazines and you got the centerfold. In the center of the book, where everybody open the center book, you got a naked sister.
Yeah.
Right.
And in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
You know? And what is that representing to us? That's our old favorite thing, seeing that body, getting into that sex, you know, putting our mind there. Right. You know, no matter how high you go, remember, you stay low. You gonna be low. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's pathetic, but you know, it works. They know it works, and then they working it on us, and people like us sit up here and we look like fools to most of the African Americans. Oh, you hear them fools up there talking, man. I'd rather have my heaven, my money today. The hell with that. He talking about what? Life hereafter? There ain't no life hereafter, man. Get out of here. Like they done been there to check it out.
I've been there. I ain't like I'm going back.
You know what I'm saying?
But the joke of that, though, how many of you remember the movie, The Matrix movie?
I am.
When the man was said, I know the steak is fake, but I'm going to enjoy this till the end. He said, I know it ain't real, but that's our people. I hear what you're saying, only possible is true, but
I'm going to get mine now.
I'm going to get mine back now. You know? So they can sell us the pimps and the hoes and all that, those things as images. And say, see, this is what you can achieve. Oh yeah, you can. By the way, you can become a president too. And that's by the second. That's by the way, but you know, but this stuff
is still gonna have to answer to the people,
right?
You know, for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but, it's heavy like that. You know?
Yeah, it's heavy like that, man. We live in a sick society, man. And then they say, what's wrong with the education system in the United States of America? What's wrong with it is the injustice that the people that's in power is doing to the lowly people. Not just African Americans, to all the lowly people.
Right.
That's what's wrong. You know, if you're going to take a select few and try to raise them above all others, what do you think that the Lord, the one who's sitting up on the throne, is going to do with you?
Right.
You're going to have time for a little while. That's why the Lord said, "I'm fretting not what I give them."
Right.
Because they only going to enjoy it for a little while.
Right.
I don't care if they live for 100 years. That's nothing to me. You know? And our whole society is suffering by that. And now you got a dark skinned man in the presidency talking about we got to get people thinking again. We got to get some people who can create, right, and discover, and some other word he used, man. But you can't just ask for that and then all of a sudden they come. See, they think they got the power.
Yeah.
Huh? They think they got the power. Okay, we're gonna look for people who can create new things that to improve our world.
Right.
The Lord is the creator. El is the creator, and it creates the creators.
Right.
Huh?
That's right.
And as soon as they get these guys whom the Lord create new things through, if they're not sitting at their table, they're gonna take that from them, especially if it's something they can use for war. And they're gonna move them out. Because their whole thing in this society is about what can we do? What can we gain for power?
Yeah.
Man, I'm tired of suffering. We got all this stuff. If we got power, we could take that from that nation. We could take that from that nation, and we could keep this economy going. How can we take it? Back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Bestiality. Huh? Or beastliness.
Beastliness.
You know?
Yeah.
A.H.A.D left a verse in the Quran when people was trying to understand that connection between man and the so-called apes. But A.H.A.D said they took a step backwards.
A step back.
And Allah said, "Be despised
like apes."
And they don't understand that. And our beastly, like you say, now beastliness, like the animals, and that's us now. You know, who want to take the step forward though? Because like you said, they left out the important equation is A.H.A.D. Hell,
right.
You ain't gonna get power without going to the source of,
right,
without going to the one,
right.
You know, who's the giver of all these things. You know, and they have asked the Lord out of everything.
Right. And now you got politicians who want to bring it back, but they can't bring it back because their powerful leaders is saying, well, you could say the word God,
right,
but you better not say its name.
That's right.
We know who you're talking about, but you better leave it open because our God is Satan.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, man. So they fake out like they talk about hell and they talk about Satan. In God we trust. You know, well, why you got the pictures of dead presidents on them bills? Huh? Right. Those people who you glorify. They had nothing to do with El. Never spoke the words of El. Never had wisdom. They just had vileness. And they was vile enough to get up to the presidency. Slick enough. And have people powerful enough in the world, in the realm of evil, backing them to get them up there, to represent them. Huh? Because we did have somebody who was talking about some equality and what have you, and they killed him and his brother.
Yeah. Sure did. Sure did.
You know? So, you know, we gotta think about what's real, man, in this world. You know, like a lady, this minister told me once. She said, look, come here. I want you to see something. Come into my church. She took me into her church. She took me behind this purple curtain. And she had all these candles and all these things. And she said, you've been saying a lot, and I just want to tell you, you're right. We do worship the devil, and we do hide behind Jesus. Says Satan is the god of this world. I said, yeah, and the people you have coming into your church every Sunday think they coming to worship the Lord Most High, and they coming to worship your devils. He said, yeah, they don't know, and we will never tell them. Huh? That was a heavy thing for me. The only reason she revealed that to me because she knew I was enlightened. She knew I knew the truth.
Right.
You know? And she happened to be around me a lot. You know? And that's a heavy thing. But you won't get that out of most of these people who have made a pact with the devil. Huh? And they got the multitudes thinking that they would never do it. Huh? Many people up on the pulpits, man, throughout all the nations, many of them got a pact, got a contract with Shaitan. And they are the leaders of religion. And they have their conventions. And they laugh at the people.
And you could catch them Sunday on TV, too.
Oh, yeah, those are the worst. Those are the worst.
You can, for real. You be flipping on Sunday morning. You see that spirit, they be up there, they be worshiping. I see
some of them names.
I see them. I just click.
There's some heavy stuff they be saying, though, man. Without any fear of the Lord, they say things and they put words in the mouth of the Lord, you know, and they cut and paste. Boy, to tell you, they talk about that, the computers cutting and pasting. Man, they've been cutting and pasting the Bible and the Holy Scripture for thousands of years, man. Just cutting and pasting. Huh?
Take that T.D. Jake guy. He look like the devil. He do. He look just like the devil.
I was hoping she would call them. I was hoping she would call them.
When you say cutting and pasting, you're talking about just creating their own, their religion, creating their own story.
Under the orders of the Christendom. Under the orders of the highest level of the people who are in the elite power ranges of Christianity and Catholicism and Judaism and Islam and what have you. They under orders, man. You know, they under orders, and they have certain situations that if you don't preach or teach what they want you to preach or teach, they will put you out of business. Huh? Yeah. And one of the reasons they let so many people open up a church, you can go open a church tomorrow, man. And the reason they do it is because they figure everybody's is lost.
Right.
You know, and if you're astray, you help their cause.
Right.
See, the ministers, the preachers, the priests, and all them, they're contracted with an unwritten contract for the jinn to keep the people under control, to help keep the people under control, to subdue the people. You know, if they could get you to thinking that, you know, well, sit back and don't do anything when they do these things to you, the Lord's going to take care of them. Sit back, turn the other cheek, don't worry about it. Jesus turned the other cheek. Just don't worry about it. You know, it's for the Lord. When they can mix state and religion together, the flag and the cross, the flag and the star and crescent, you know, the flag and the six-pointed star. When they can mix these things together, nation and religion, and try to make like it's all one and the same, when they're not following the covenant of the Lord, then they've done something, you know, for the devil. They've been the highest level supporters of the devil, the advocates of the devil. And then put fear in the people, because they're a great gang. They put fear in the people. Hey, if you do this, I'll make sure you get out of your job, you get out of your house, you're going to be living on the street. I'm going to ruin you, and I'm going to put your son or your daughters or your husband or your mama or somebody in jail. I'm going to make your life a living hell if you don't do this, that, or the other. You have to have a strong constitution in these great societies, man, to stand forth, you know, and if your belief is aside from what they believe or aside from what they demand that you believe. You know what I mean? You have to have a strong foundation of faith, man. And the thing about it is not, some people mix faith up with hope.
Yeah.
They got a lot of hope and they think they got faith. You know, faith comes from the Lord El, just like wisdom. You can't develop faith or nurture faith.
They teach that though. But
I know you can't do it.
Right.
Faith, it has a spirit and a power from the Lord El. It gives you faith. It is the reality of faith. It is the faithful.
Right.
And it gives you faith and cause you to live in that faith. And in that faith, by you knowing it or by it moving you by its power, it will cause you to do things that the average person will not do against odds that's much greater than you, as seen by the people.
Right.
You can't develop or nurture or just create faith.
All right.
You know, it's just like making a coward a courageous man. I don't care how, like they say, come to the military, come to the army. You know, strong, come to the army strong.
Yeah.
You know, and many guys be sent back home in bags. Oh, it was friendly fire.
Right.
Friendly fire, yeah, because somebody wasn't too strong.
Yeah.
You know? Say, wait a minute, he got shot in the back. You know, somebody jumped out of the bush and somebody said, "Ah!" and shot up all their own people. You can't just put a heart in somebody. But they'll train these guys for 3 months and throw them out into war.
Right in the war,
It's like another body. It's just a body.
It's just
like
a body.
A pawn in a chess game.
Throw them out there, man. But, you know, I'm not advocating to try to turn people away from the, you know, military, because we need protection. We need the military. We need the paramilitary, police officers. We need people who gonna keep people in order. Unfortunately, we got evil people running those organizations. Therefore, you got evil employees. Right. You know what I mean? Right up to the top, you got public servants up to the top. Public servants. You a servant of the public, but you make the laws, you make the salaries, you make the orders. The people vote you in to take control of them. Then they get upset about what you're doing, and they can't fire you. Because you make them hold to their contract, and you won't make them hold to the contract or yourself, the contract of the Lord El.
Right.
What evil. A vicious circle, man. Huh? And we all a part of it.
Mm-hmm. So true.
Yeah, just a question of responsibility. They have no responsibility to the Lord. No sense of accountability. It's like, I'm the Lord.
They think
that they're the Lord.
The devil have a responsibility to the Lord, but they don't want to recognize their responsibility. Right. Everything in creation has a responsibility, but they don't want to recognize it. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, there we go.
Well, it's your responsibility to keep tuning and watching this program. This has been an A.H.A.D moment, the calm before the storm. You want to reach us by correspondence.
Who of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?